The room was cold, dark, and full of noise. Voices echoed through the air, some angry, some excited, some just laughing. It was an auction, but not for objects. This was a black market auction for living beings. In the center of the room stood a young girl, about 17. Her skin was pale blue, her hair dark like the night sky. She had only one leg. The other was gone, replaced by a metal rod that didn't even reach the ground. She stood using a support stick. Her clothes were torn. Her eyes were tired but full of fire. A small board hung from her neck. It said, "For sale, just enough for a prosthetic leg." Nothing more. People walked by her, stared, and then walked away. "She's useless," one alien man said, drinking from a silver cup. "Look at her, broken. Who would want her?" Another woman laughed. "She's not even full human," a third voice said. "Half alien, probably dangerous." But the girl did not speak. She stood still, breathing slowly, like someone who had stood too long and felt the pain deep in her bones. But she didn't cry. She didn't beg. Her name was Sira. Flashback. A memory flashed in her mind. A ship falling from the sky. Fire. Screams, soldiers chasing her through the woods. Then, the explosion, her leg, the pain, the darkness. She had escaped a war. Her people, half human, half alien hybrids, were being hunted, sold, and killed. She had lost her family, her home, her body, but not her spirit. Now, all she wanted was a leg. A real one. So she could walk again, maybe run. Maybe survive. So she put herself up for sale. Back in the auction hall, the auctioneer shouted, "Next item, the broken girl. Starting bid to 100 credits." Silence. Nobody raised their hand. "Come on," the man shouted. "She can cook, clean, speak 6 languages, useful in some way." Still, no one moved. Sira looked down at the ground. Then a voice came from the back. "I'll take her." Everyone turned. A man walked forward, human. His face had scars. His eyes were calm. He wore a long coat and a strange tool belt around his waist. He looked like a traveler. A mechanic, maybe. His name was Ronan. Someone laughed. "You want that thing? Why?" Ronan didn't look at them. He looked only at Sira. "I don't want to buy a slave," he said. Gasps. "I'm buying her freedom." The auctioneer was confused. "Freedom? What?" "That's not how this works." "I'll pay double," Ronan said, dropping a bag of credits on the floor. Everyone stared. Even Sira. Her eyes widened. She had not expected kindness. "Not here, not now." The auctioneer paused. Money was money. "Fine," he grumbled. "Take her. She's yours." Ronan walked to Sira. He held out his hand. Sira didn't move. "Come on," he said softly. "Let's get you that leg." She looked at his hand, then at his eyes. There was no cruelty there. No hunger. Just calm. Slowly, she took his hand. They walked out of the auction hall into a quiet spaceport. The sky above was filled with stars. Ships flew overhead. The cold air touched her face. Sira limped beside Ronan, not saying a word. "Why did you do that?" she finally asked. Ronan looked ahead. "Because I fix broken things. I'm not a machine." "No, but you're broken. And you're trying to fix yourself. That's worth something." She didn't know what to say. They reached his ship. It wasn't big, but it was clean. Safe. Ronan helped her sit down on a small bed in the corner. "There's food in the box. Water too. Rest. We'll get your leg tomorrow." Then he left her alone. Sira stared at the door. She didn't understand this man. He had paid money. He had saved her, but didn't ask for anything. She looked around. The room was warm. For the first time in weeks, she felt safe. She touched the cold metal where her leg used to be. Tears came, but she wiped them quickly. "I don't understand humans," she whispered. Then she lay back and fell asleep. Outside in the shadows of the port, Someone watched. A small metal drone flew silently and sent a signal. Target located. Hybrid girl found. Send backup. The hunt was not over. Not yet. Sierra woke up to silence. Warm light touched her face. She was in a small room. Metal walls, soft blankets, and the gentle hum of engines. It wasn't a cage. It wasn't a cell. It was a bedroom. She sat up slowly, blinking at the calm air. No shouting, no laughing crowds. No one calling her broken. Just peace. Her missing leg still ached. The pain was a constant reminder. But today, something was different. She wasn't on the auction floor anymore. She was on his ship. The door opened with a soft click. Ronan stepped inside, holding a tray. "Morning," he said, placing food beside her. "Eat." Sierra didn't move. "Why did you save me?" she asked, her voice flat. Ronan didn't answer right away. He just sat down across the room and began fixing a broken drone, wires sparking in his hands. "I didn't save you," he said. "I gave you a chance. What you do with it is up to you." She frowned. "Nobody helps without wanting something," Ronan smirked. "I'm not nobody." Hours passed. Ronan worked. Sierra stayed quiet, watching him. He moved like someone who had done this 1,000 times, fixing machines, putting broken things back together. But he didn't ask her questions. Didn't ask where she was from, or what she was. It made her nervous. The kind ones were always the most dangerous. Later, he guided her down a ramp toward a busy trade station. She limped beside him, using an old walking stick. Every step was pain. People stared at her again. But this time, no one laughed. Because she wasn't alone. Ronan walked beside her, silent, steady. At a small cyber shop. He pointed to a shelf. "Choose your leg," he said. "Not the best tech here, but it'll do for now." Sierra stared at the display. Legs of different shapes and sizes, sleek, strong, simple. She picked the cheapest one. Ronan raised an eyebrow. "You sure?" "It's enough," she said. He paid. No questions asked. In the ship, she sat on the table while he fitted the leg. It clicked into place. Cold metal touched her skin. "Try it," he said. Sierra stood and fell. She hit the floor with a loud thud. Ronan didn't help her up. She looked at him, surprised. "I won't lift you every time," he said. "You want to walk, you learn to fall first." She stared at him for a long second, then pushed herself up, teeth clenched, and tried again. This time, she stood. That night, Sierra couldn't sleep. Ronan was still working in the control room. Surrounded by screens and maps. She walked in slowly, her new leg clicking softly on the floor. "Can I send a message?" she asked. He looked at her, nodded. "Once, just don't call trouble." She didn't answer. Just typed a strange code into the system, symbols no human would understand. The message blinked. "To any survivors of Unit 17, Sierra is alive. I am safe. Send help if you can." Then she erased the trace, but someone had seen it that far away. On a drifting ship in the black void of space, a small screen lit up. A man with silver skin and burning eyes looked at the code. He smiled. "She's alive. The hybrid girl survived." Behind him stood armed guards. "Prepare the cage. She's coming back to us." Back on Ronan's ship, Sierra returned to her room. She lay down, eyes wide open, heart racing. She had sent the message. But was it the right choice? Would they come to help or to hunt? She turned to the wall and whispered, "Why did you really save me, Ronan?" But he wasn't listening. He was looking at an old photo on the control panel. A picture of a woman and a little girl with blue skin, just like Sierra. Space is quiet, but signals travel fast. In the dark corner of a galaxy, a message moved between the stars, short, hidden, and dangerous. Only one group could understand its code. And now, they knew. The hybrid girl was alive. Sierra sat in the ship's main room, staring at the stars through the window. Her new leg worked, Not perfectly, but enough. She had walked, fallen, walked again. Every step reminded her who she was now, not a prisoner. Not for sale, but not safe either. Ronan worked silently in the engine room. His hands were busy, but his mind was not quiet. He could feel her watching. Thinking, waiting. She was planning something. The silence broke. "You didn't ask where I came from," Sira said. Ronan didn't look up. "Didn't have to. I've seen enough wars to know a runaway when I see one." She walked toward him. Her leg made soft clicking sounds on the floor. "I'm not just a runaway," she said. "I'm the last of my unit, Unit 17. We weren't soldiers. We were children." Ronan paused, looked up. "Experiments?" Sira nodded. "They trained us, mixed human DNA with alien tech, called us hybrids, promised us power, then tried to sell us. What happened? They sold the others." She looked down. "I escaped." A small silence fell between them. Ronan went back to fixing a damaged drone. Sparks flew from the wires. "You sent a message," he said finally. "You want them to come back for you?" "I don't know," she said. "Maybe I just wanted someone to remember me." Ronan didn't respond. But his hands moved slower now. That evening, they landed at a remote scrap planet, a place where lost ships and broken bots were dumped and forgotten. Ronan needed parts. Sira followed him, walking carefully on the rough ground. The air smelled like rust and ash. They walked past half-buried machines and crashed satellites. Strange creatures watched from behind metal hills. "Stay close," Ronan said. "Things here bite." They reached a trader's hut, where a robot with a glass head sorted glowing parts. Ronan began bartering. Sira wandered off, drawn to a large, broken pod half buried in the ground. Its door was half-open. Inside, bones. Small ones, alien bones. She stepped back, heart pounding. Children, like her. Forgotten. Suddenly, a sharp sound. She turned. A shadow moved quickly behind a pile of scrap. Then another. She ran toward Ronan, breath tight, but he was already watching. "Someone's following us," he said calmly. "Saw them 5 minutes ago." "Who are they?" Sira asked. "Don't know," he said, "but I've got questions now. And not just about them." He looked at her. "You told me you sent a message. You didn't say to who." Sira froze. "I thought I could trust you, and I thought you'd be honest." Before she could speak, an explosion nearby. Dust, fire, shouts. 3 figures appeared through the smoke, tall, armored, and fast. Not bounty hunters, trackers, from her old lab. "Target confirmed," one said in a robotic voice. "Return the hybrid." Sira stepped back. Ronan stepped forward. "You want her," he said, pulling out a plasma wrench. "You go through me." They laughed. Ronan threw the first hit. The fight was fast and messy. Metal against metal. Smoke and sparks. Sira grabbed a fallen blaster. Her hands shook, then a shot, straight into one of the attackers. They fell. Ronan looked at her. "Nice shot." She was shaking. But alive, they escaped back to the ship, flying up just before more enemies arrived. Sira collapsed into a chair, breathing hard. "They found me," she said. "No," Ronan replied, locking the ship's course. "You led them here." Later, when the ship was quiet, Ronan sat alone in the engine room. He pulled out an old photo again, the one he always carried. A little girl, pale blue skin, big eyes, smiling. His daughter, long gone. Her name was also Sira. He stared at the picture for a long time. "I couldn't save you," he whispered, then looked toward the hall where the new Sira slept. "But maybe I can save her." Far away, the message Sira sent reached its final destination. A dark ship woke up, engines lit with red fire. Inside, a woman with silver armor smiled. "She called for help," she said. "But she forgot who we are." "She was made in our lab," a voice replied. "She belongs to us." "Then let's bring her home." Asterisk, the galaxy has a price for everything, even a life, even hers. Inside a smoky bar on the desert moon Corda 6, a bounty hunter dropped his drink when the holoscreen flickered. A voice echoed through every corner of the station. Wanted, hybrid. Subject 17. Escaped experiment. Last seen with a human male. Reward, 500,000 credits, dead or alive. The photo appeared. Sierra. Half-human, half-alien. Beside her, Ronan. Hundreds of bounty hunters looked up. Some smiled, some loaded their weapons. The hunt had begun. Back on Ronan's ship, Sierra stood in front of the mirror. Her new leg gleamed under. The light, still stiff, still awkward, but it moved. It held her weight. It made her feel almost whole again. But today, her hands were shaking. She had seen the bounty alert on the ship's screen. She knew what it meant. Ronan walked in, holding a data tablet. "We've got a problem," he said. "I already know." He paused. "You didn't tell me there was a price on your head." "I didn't know," she lied. He didn't blink. "Sarah, I don't run a rescue ship. I fix machines. I trade parts. I don't get involved in other people's wars." She looked down. "You want me to leave?" He didn't answer. Silence. That was louder than words. Later, Sarah packed a small bag. No words. No goodbye. She walked down the ship's ramp, limping slightly, heading into the dirty streets of a nearby port town. Her head was down. Her heart heavy. She understood. No one wanted the broken girl. Even the one who saved her didn't want to keep her. But something felt wrong. Too quiet. She turned a corner and froze. 3 figures stood there, guns drawn, helmets glowing red. "Subject located," one said. "Kill the human. Bring the hybrid in alive." Sarah turned to run, but they moved fast. Too fast. Suddenly, fire from the rooftops. Plasma bolts rained down. Sarah ducked behind a crate. Then, a familiar voice. "You should have waited for me." Ronan dropped into the alley like lightning. Wrench in one hand, energy shield on the other. He moved with silent rage, fighting like a man who had nothing left to lose. The fight was dirty and loud. Sarah grabbed a pipe. Hit one from behind. Ronan pulled her back. "You okay?" "You came for me?" He looked at her. "I don't leave my crew behind." They ran through the city, chased by bounty hunters, drones, and bots. Explosions lit the sky. They reached the ship just in time. As they blasted off, Sarah fell to the floor, breathing hard. Ronan sat beside her. He handed her water. Then he said, without looking at her, 500,000 credits. That's what you're worth. She stayed silent, then whispered, "You could have sold me." He finally looked at her. "I don't sell people. I fix what's broken, and sometimes I protect it." She stared at him, unsure if she wanted to cry or smile. In the control room, a red warning flashed. Another signal. Someone had tracked them again. Ronan sighed. "They're not going to stop coming." "I didn't ask for this," Sarah said softly. "I know," he said. "But maybe." He opened a hidden panel behind the wall. Inside, a weapon. Old, powerful, illegal. "Maybe it's time we stopped running." Meanwhile, far away, inside, a silver warship. The woman in armor smiled. "She's not running anymore," she said. "She's starting to fight back." Her assistant spoke. "Shall we raise the bounty?" She shook her head. "No, let the galaxy chase her. And when she's tired, we'll take what's ours." Some people hide their pain in silence. Ronan hid his in metal wires. And ghosts. The stars passed slowly outside the ship window, like frozen sparks in space. Sarah sat alone in the dark corridor, legs pulled to her chest. The hum of the engine was the only sound. Her heart felt heavy, not from fear, but from confusion. Why did he keep saving her? Why did he fight like a soldier, but live like a ghost? She needed answers. Ronan stood in the engine bay, shirt half torn, hands dirty with grease. He worked like a machine. No breaks, no words, just movement. But something was different tonight. He looked angry. Not at her. At himself. Sierra walked in slowly. "You don't talk much," she said. He didn't look at her. Just kept turning a wrench. Talking doesn't fix things. She watched him in silence. Then asked the question she'd been holding too long. "Who did you lose?" Ronan froze. 1 second. 2. Then he dropped the wrench. He turned to her, eyes hard, jaw tight. "You looked at my photo, didn't you?" She nodded. "You had a daughter," she whispered. "Her name was Sierra too." His voice dropped low. "She died years ago, in a colony raid. Same warrior people ran from." Sierra blinked. Her throat tightened. "I'm not her," she said. "I know." "Then why are you helping me?" Ronan stared at the wall. His voice shook just slightly. "Because I couldn't help her." A silence deeper than space filled the room. Then he walked away, leaving her standing there, unsure if she had hurt him or healed him. Later that night, Sierra entered the ship's locked archives. Her curiosity had grown too loud. She hacked the entry. Inside, files, videos, reports. She saw him, younger, in a soldier's uniform. Not a mechanic, a commander. Footage of him leading battles, saving refugees, fighting alien elites. Then, reports marked classified. Project Hybrid 17, failed. Civilian loss, 132. Known survivor, Ronan Kale. Her hand trembled. He wasn't just a soldier. He was involved in the creation of hybrids like her. He had helped build the program and walked away when it got out of control. She wasn't just a stranger to him. She was a reminder. Suddenly, a loud beep. Red lights flashed. Incoming transmission. Code black. Sierra ran to the control room. Ronan was already there, staring at the screen. A message played. To the hybrid girl and her human pet. "You're not running anymore." The woman in silver armor appeared on the screen. Her voice was calm, cold. "We're not here to kill you. Not yet. We're here to finish what we started." Sierra's eyes widened. She remembered that voice, that face. She was Dr. Cleese, the head of the lab. "Sierra," the woman said softly, "we gave you your gifts. But you were always meant to be a weapon. It's time to come home." Ronan shut the screen off. "No," he said. "She's not going anywhere." Sierra whispered, almost to herself. "I'm not even real to them. Just a tool." Ronan looked at her. "You're not a tool, and you're not broken." Suddenly, another alert. Tracker ships approaching. 5 of them, armed. Fast. They had no time. Ronan pulled a lever. The ship jumped to hyperspace, engines screaming. Inside the dark cabin, Sierra sat by the window again. Everything was moving fast. Too fast. Her past, his past, and the people chasing them both. She had one thought. If I'm not a weapon, then what am I? And deep inside her chest, something began to wake. The stars were moving faster than light. But danger was already here. Ronan's ship came out of hyperspace, engines steaming. The ship was shaking, not from damage, but from what was coming next. Inside the cockpit, Sierra stared at the map. A blinking red dot was waiting near a dead moon. Ronan didn't need to explain. They followed us. Again. But this time, it wasn't bounty hunters. It was her own kind. She stepped outside the cockpit, breathing slow. Her chest felt tight. This wasn't fear. This was memory, flashback. A giant metal lab, cold lights above. Children with glowing eyes, walking in lines. Needles, tests, wires in the skin. And her, smaller, weaker, watching others break. "You're different," they said. "You were built to lead them." But she ran. And now, they were here to take her back. Back in the present, a ship appeared on the scanner, sleek, silent, covered in glowing blue lines. Hybrid tech, Generation 3. Ronan cursed under his breath. They sent a flagship. This isn't a rescue, it's a collection. Sierra looked at him. I have to face them. No, he said. They'll take you apart. Use you again. Sierra's voice was calm. I'm tired of running. The docking alarm rang. The hybrid ship had arrived. The air inside Ronan's ship changed. Colder. Heavier. Like gravity itself was watching. The docking ramp hissed. Then they stepped in. 4 hybrid soldiers. Silver skin. Emotionless eyes. Behind them walked Dr. Cleese. Long silver coat, hair tied back, a calm smile. She looked at Sierra like a mother seeing her lost child. There you are. Sierra stood straight. No fear in her eyes. You're not my family. She sighed. No, Cleese replied. We're something better. We're your future. Ronan stepped forward, blocking the path. She's not going with you. Cleese laughed softly. You really think she's yours? You think she's free? She turned to Sierra. Tell me, child, do you feel real? Or do you feel designed? Sierra's hands clenched. I feel angry. That's real enough. The hybrid. Soldiers moved forward. Ronan reached for his plasma wrench. Cleese raised a hand. No need for violence. She will come with us. Willingly, her blood carries the code to activate the others. She's the key. Sierra stared at her. You don't want me, you want control. Yes, Cleese smiled. And deep down, so do you. Everything went still. Sierra took one slow breath. Then, she raised her hand. A pulse of energy exploded from her palm. Blue light filled the room. The hybrid soldiers froze. Their weapons dropped. Ronan shielded his eyes. When the light faded, the soldiers were unconscious. Sierra stood tall, breathing hard. Eyes glowing faint blue. I'm not your key, she said. I'm your end. Cleese looked shocked for the first time. You've grown, she said. Too much. She stepped back into her ship. This isn't over. The hybrid ship undocked and vanished into the stars. Silence. Sierra fell to her knees, exhausted. Ronan caught her before she hit the ground. You okay? He asked. She looked up at him, weak but smiling. I think I finally said no loud enough. That night, the stars looked different. Sierra sat outside the ship, staring at them. No chains, no orders, no past, just choice. And for the first time, she whispered, I don't want to escape anymore. I want to live. Some people run from their past. Some fight it. She rewrote it. The galaxy was quiet now. No bounty hunters. No hybrid soldiers. No shadow ships. Just space. And the girl who had once stood on a broken leg now stood tall. Sierra stood in front of the mirror inside Ronan's ship. Her reflection looked back at her. Not the scared auction girl from part 1. Not the lost experiment. Not the hunted creature. Now she had a real prosthetic leg. Smooth, fast, strong. It moved with her, like it belonged, but even more than that, her eyes were brighter. Her voice, stronger. Her back, straight. She didn't look like a weapon anymore. She looked like a person. Ronan walked in, holding a metal case. Got you something, he said. Sierra opened it slowly. Inside, a hand-carved necklace made from scrap metal and old ship wire. Simple. Ugly. Real. Sierra smiled. You're a terrible artist, Ronan smirked. That's why I fix ships instead. A red light blinked on the console. Another message. Not from an enemy this time, but from a colony. A peaceful one. We heard what she did. The hybrid girl. The one who stopped the weapon ship. Can she help us? Ronan looked at her. Up to you. Sierra paused. Then nodded. Let's go. As the ship flew through stars, Sierra opened a small, hidden drawer in her room. Inside, the board she once wore around her neck. For sale, just enough for a prosthetic leg. She stared at it for a moment, then threw it into the furnace. It burned, along with her past. They landed at a desert outpost. Dusty, poor, quiet. Ronan repaired broken power lines. Sierra taught children how to reprogram water bots. She was laughing. Now, something she had forgotten how to do. One girl with metal arms asked her, "Are you the hybrid girl who stopped a war?" Sierra smiled. "No, I'm just the mechanic's assistant," the girl nodded. "But you don't look broken." Sierra leaned closer. "That's the trick. No one really is." That night, Sierra sat on the roof of the outpost, looking at the stars. Ronan joined her, 2 cups of warm synth tea in hand. "Still think I should have sold you?" he asked. She laughed. "You couldn't afford me now." They both smiled, and for the first time, there was no fear. No plan, no escape route. Just peace. Back in the shadows of space, the silver-armored woman stood before a cracked screen. Cleese watched the report from the outpost. "She's helping them," an officer said. "Teaching them to resist." Cleese turned off the screen. "She's learning who she is," she whispered. "And that makes her more dangerous than ever." A pause. "Should we go after her?" Cleese smiled bitterly. "No, not yet. Let her build hope. We'll break it later." But Cleese was wrong, because hope wasn't a weapon. Hope was Sierra herself, and she wasn't broken anymore.